Edna May Alvis. I have lived at Deerhurst Care Home for over 3 years now, and I've enjoyed every bit of it.
I'm Mike Evans. I'm chair of the volunteer group here at Deerhurst.
So I'm Una Goldsworthy and I'm the Chief Executive at Brunelcare.
Hi, my name's Jenny and I've worked at Brunelcare for 10 years, at Robinson House Nursing Home as a mental health nurse for 8.5 years.
I'm Deborah Evans. I'm the Chair of the Board of Trustees of Brunelcare.
The first thing I can remember in life is my father saying to me, because Jamaica was a British colony, my father said to me, Britain has declared war on Germany. Nothing else in my childhood I can remember.
Brunelcare was founded during the Blitz.
That they provided food parcels and blankets and things for people that had been bombed out of their houses and people that were generally needing support.
During the Blitz, I would have been 3 or 4 years of age. I think perhaps my earliest memories would have been of running down the stairs and there was a chair in the hallway and you just grabbed a bundle of clothes and then ran across the road to a communal air raid shelter. I remember that quite clearly. Once I got in the air raid shelter, I probably fell asleep.
We used to go downstairs because the house had a basement and hide under the...
The bomb damage in Bedminster, you know, you would go down. I would go and visit my grandparents, and the house 3 doors up the road would have been obliterated, completely gone. Shops, theatres that existed in Bedminster before the war, just empty shells, burnt out wrecks where they'd been bombed.
Yeah, my dad grew up in Bristol and he had many stories of the Blitz, many stories of what it was like to live here as a teenager. He drove an ambulance, funnily enough, so maybe he actually helped rescue some of the people that we were set up to look after.
And I remember quite clearly a victory bonfire in 1945 that was lit in the middle of the road, and yeah, it had a bonfire to celebrate. I think the main thing that I would remember in the post-war years would have been rationing.
The colonies were dependent on selling their goods to Britain. Britain was our only market for sugar and sugarcane, for banana and orange and pineapple and all the other things that the farmers grew. And Britain was no longer interested in what we grew. They were interested in the men that could go to war.
I remember in the war we had ration books and I used to have to go to the shops and they'd tear out the little coupon for what you were allowed.
Food shortages were very hard to cope with. It didn't affect me too much as a child, but I could imagine how it must have affected older people.
I think you were allowed 2 ounces of butter a week. Can you imagine?
Well, Brunelcare is quite an old lady now, isn't it, at 80 years old, and it was set up during the war, and it was like the Bristol Older People's Welfare, so it still had a focus on supporting older people who at that time were living in their own homes, and it was about people keeping people safe, it was about feeding them, it was keeping them warm, keeping them alive.
I've been here 21 years now, but my association with Brunelcare goes back much further than that. When it was Bristol Old People's Welfare, that was the originator, and I used them in 1968 to send my mum and dad on a couple of holidays. Care homes were a rarity, shall we say, in 1968. The growth of care homes has really blossomed over the years, but very few at that time. Bristol Old People's Welfare looked after people in their own homes, supported them in their own homes. So that would be the difference.
Brunelcare was founded during the Blitz. The vision was, and it was about immediate needs, so it was a crisis, and how can they respond to that? So it's about keep them warm, keep people fed, and keep them alive. But once you've done that, what else happens? So as an organisation, over those 80 years, we have grown to think, well, okay, what else do people need? Or what else do they want? So we've grown to develop independent living. So we have sheltered housing schemes where people can live on their own with their neighbours and get on with their lives, with a little bit of support perhaps coming in from us. We've also grown to support home care, so providing care in people's homes on a daily basis. And extra care homes are amazing because people can live in their own independent flats within a bigger complex, but the care they need comes into them. And then we have reablement centres where people can come straight from hospital, get back on their feet, get a bit of physiotherapy and other support, and get back home again. And then we also have a number of care homes as well, where people might come if they need more intensive support and care. So we have a whole range of different services that we provide.
So we've branched out into slightly different ways of working. We've got our care homes, we've got reablement to get people back on their feet when they come out of hospital. So we've got some things that are different, but I think that what people really like and respect about Brunelcare is the ethos. It is the kindness, it's the caring, it's going an extra mile. I've been a trustee of Brunelcare for about 4 years. And I wanted to become a trustee because I was very grateful for the way in which Brunelcare had looked after my mum, particularly when she was dying, but also they continued to look after my dad until very recently. My mum and dad lived in Brunelcare since 2013. They had a flat in Saffron Gardens, and then at first they were able to roam around Bristol in taxis, having fun, and then as my mum's dementia got a bit more severe, she needed to move into the care home downstairs. So my dad used to hang out down there with her all day and then just go up to the flat to sleep at night. So it was a perfect model of care for them. And then after a while he went to live in the care home where he celebrated his 100th birthday. There's lots and lots of special moments. I can remember a New Year's party where my husband and my nephew and I came to dance with my dad. And my dad was really good at ballroom dancing, so even though he was blind and 98, we had a great boogie in the corridor and all the residents were there, and it was the most fun New Year's Eve party I've ever been to.
It's very important that people have a choice of how they're cared for when they're older. I would say that thank goodness for charities like Brunelcare, because I don't think the options of care would be as good as what they are.
But the difference about being a not-for-profit and a charity is that any surplus we made or any profit that we make goes straight back into improving services. So that gives us the freedom to innovate, it gives us the freedom to change things and adapt.
I trained first as a psychiatric nurse. I served 15 years in psychiatry, and then I became a general trained nurse, and I served the rest of my time, 27 years I believe, in general nursing, retiring as a charge nurse. I have also had the privilege of working for Brunelcare in the 1980s and in the 1990s. The desire to find one of these homes in which to retire was because I had worked for them. I knew what type of accommodation they had, what facilities they had, and the care that they could offer.
I've been there when we had the first black gentleman in Saffron,
yeah.
And I happen to know him as well. Because, you know, we live in that community. I always remember him, Cyril, in that area. So you get lots of people of different culture there. Yeah, I think they've gone along with changes over the years, because when I started, it was a small organisation.
It's gone a long way and progressed into doing more and more care for people, providing them with homes to live in and making sure they're looked after in their own home.
Brunelcare has really done a great part in making sure that person-centered is across the board. They are the center of what we're doing, what the care we're doing for them.
So it is just about giving them control in their lives and offering choices and being supportive and not sort of controlling what they're doing.
We are able to understand the cultures, differences, religion at the same time, and where we are coming from. And I think what is the most significant here is we are all human beings.
Empowering people, get them to feel good about themselves, enjoying what is going on around them.
You're making the family's lives happier, and you're obviously making the person that you're looking after's life happier.
It's seeing ourselves as part of that journey of somebody in life, helping them to stay as independent as possible for as long as possible, and making the best of every moment in their lives. So our motto is later living, making the best of every moment, and that means that you are looking at how you can touch people's lives in every single way.
I want them to feel that this is their home, that we are the ones that are coming into their home. They're not coming into our work environment. Their environment feels homely, that it's everyone that they see is happy, that people are smiling, it's a happy environment. It's not just maybe the person that's needing that help, it's the families that sometimes need that support as well.
So another key, really important value for us is about choice. And it doesn't matter what stage of life you're at or what your physical needs might be, you still want to have choice. What we try to do is give people as much choice as possible over the care and support that they receive.
We're in a position where we can still live an independent life, but at the same time we know that when we need care, there will be care here, and that's why we are here. It's called Brunelcare.
Because they've got that support from that person, they feel more confident that they're able to do more, which is really great.
Nurses are good, and all the carers, they are wonderful. I can't fault any of them. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else, no.
So over the last 80 years, we've grown. The people who set us up originally wouldn't recognise what we are now. You know, we're so much bigger, and we employ over 1,200 colleagues to work for us, and we've got lots of care homes and services that we run, and our own homes. What's there and still at the heart of what we do is that compassion and charitable ethos and ethical approach, that we're still a not-for-profit organisation, we're still a charity, and that's still very dear to us.
Times change, carers change, clients change, managers change, but the overall thing that Brunelcare as an organisation behind everything hasn't changed. It's still moving forward. It's still more family, and it's much more of a family. It feels more like a family than a company.
I'd like to see Brunelcare carrying on doing the things that it does now, particularly the excellent range of services it offers to older people, and the emphasis on making sure that people can remain as independent as they want in the way that they want.
Brunelcare's 80th anniversary is a massive achievement, and I hope that it continues to grow and provide more care for people.
So congratulations for the 80 years and more. So we're still here, and we will retire here.
For a charity to be running that long and to be able to provide so many people with jobs and to provide homes and care for so many people must feel fantastic, and whoever was the creator all those years back, I hope they can look down and see that they're still doing a really good job.
I think it's a really great achievement. From where they started doing the meals and things like that, and to where we are now, to be able to support as many people is absolutely fantastic. We've just grown and grown. We're covering all aspects of care, support for older people.
By continuing that service to humanity, it would be an amazing world for everybody to receive the care in Brunelcare.
Oh, it's marvellous. I hope they carry on another 80 years.
I think it's good as it's gone on for so long, and I wish it many more happy years.
So we might be 80 years old, but really it's just the beginning. We're going to grow and we're going to adapt, but our core ethics and our core values that go right back 80 years will stay with us.
Happy 80th birthday, Brunelcare.
Happy 80th birthday, Brunelcare.
Happy birthday, Brunelcare.
Happy 80th birthday, Brunelcare.
Happy birthday, Brunelcare.
Happy 80th
birthday,
Brunelcare.
Happy birthday, Brunelcare. 80 years young. You can cut that bit.